अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले श्री स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू माता
Hare
जी।
Krishna. Thank you so much, Gayatri Mataji, for this wonderful recitation of the Mangalacharan. So, Hare Krishna. So today we have with us Bhaktin Hetvi, who will be leading us today. And Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for making time for us and helping us to discuss the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is the further inquiries by Vidura, and the text for today is text 29. So over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for the welcome, the warm welcome. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, and I'm very grateful to Rukma Prabhu that has given a chance to me to take this class. So I thought the verse is text 30. I was told text 30.
My apologies. It was put on the group as 30, but I think we did not do 29 yesterday.
Okay.
Just did we do 28 and 20? We did 27 and 28 yesterday. So, but we can just read. But if you have, we can move to text 30 and we can read, because it is just the 4 classes of human society that was discussed. But if you don't mind, we can just read the purport, the translation and purport, and then move on to text 30.
Yeah, that's okay. I think we can just go through it. So, anyone is okay? Someone can just read for us. What's the Sanskrit shloka and the translation, and then someone can do the purport as well.
Thank you, Mataji. Do we have any volunteers? Dr. Mugo, would you like to try? Okay, I can read it.
No problem.
Ashrama Vibhagamscha Rupa Shilas Babatam Krishinam Janma Karmani Vedasya Chavikarshanam. I read that again. Varnashrama Vibhaganscha Upashila Svabhavatam Krishinam Janma Karmani Vedasya Vikarsanam.
Yes, that is a very clean pronunciation of the Sanskrit. That's nice. Anyone else would like to give it a try?
Hare Krishna, I can give it a try.
Yes, please.
Vanashrama Vigabhamsha Rupashila Swabhavataha Rishinam Janma Karmani Vedasya Cha Vikarshana. Hare Krishna.
That's a good try as well. Thank you. Okay, someone can do the translation.
Hare Krishna, I can do the translation.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
great sage. Translation by His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Oh, great sage, kindly describe the division and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and self-control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else who would like to read the puppet, please?
Yeah, I'll read the purport.
Okay,
Purport
Mataji.
by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yeah.
The four status and orders of the human society, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, as well as Brahmacharis, Grahasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyas, are all divisions of quality, education, culture, and spiritual advancement attained by practicing control of the mind and the senses. All these divisions are based on the particular nature of each individual person, not on the principle of birth. Birth is not mentioned in this verse because birth is immaterial. Vidura is famous in the history as born of a Shudrani mother, yet he is more than a Brahmana by qualifications because he is seen here to be the disciple of the great sage Maitreya Muni. Unless one achieves at least the Brahminical qualification, one cannot understand the Vedic hymns. Mahabharata is also a division of Vedas, but it is meant for women, Shudras, Dvijabandhus, the worthless children of higher section, the less intelligent section of society can avail themselves of the Vedic instructions simply by studying the Mahabharata. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. So basically in this verse, what he is asking, what Vidur is asking, that kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society. So we have, as you see in the puppet, we can see that there is four statuses and orders of human society. There is one that is the statuses, that is Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. And then the other one is the human society, and that is Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis. Now, if we have ever come across this, so there's basically, in the Sanskrit, it's called the Varna and Ashram. Okay. Can anyone explain to me what the Varnas are?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, yes.
Varnas are the divisions of the society into four qualities, like Brahminical, Kshatriya,
Okay.
Vaishya, and Shudra. So these are the four qualities of divisions in the human society.
Okay.
That is Varna, Mataji.
Okay. Can anyone give the meaning of the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and Shudras? Like, what do they stand for? Can anyone tell me that? So we know that basically these are Varnas. Varnas is like how to explain, like, the skills or your character, what your character is, what your character molds you onto. So what are Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyan, and Shudras?
Hare Krishna.
Hare
I
Krishna.
can try. So
Yes, please.
the Brahmanas, they are said to be more in the mode of goodness, and their work involves teaching and giving knowledge, doing sacrifices and all that. Then the Kshatriyas, they are the administrative class, and they are mostly in the mode of passion, and they rule over and they protect. The Vaishyas are the mercantile men. That's their occupation, and they are a mix of the mode of passion and ignorance. And the
Okay.
Shudras, they are those who serve. They are the like they do the menial jobs, and they are under the care of the other three, and they are mostly in the mode of ignorance. So basically, it's the occupational duties depending on the mode that rules the person instead of by birth.
So yes, okay, Chani Mataji, yes, you're correct. So the Brahmanas are teachers, like basically the teachers. Kshatriyas are the soldiers, the protectors of the king, the citizens and all. Vaishyas are mercantile, like people who do businesses, and Shudras are those who work for the Vaishyas and the Kshatriyas, and like those who work for other people. So basically that. Okay. Now the second one is ashramas. The ashrams. Can someone say the ashrams and what they mean? Or basically the English word for the ashrams. Anyone would like to give it a try?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can I try again, or if someone else want to try, they can?
No, please go ahead. No problem.
Okay, Mataji. So ashramas are again in 4 divisions of for a human. First 25 years is brahmacharya, and
Yeah.
the next from 25 to 50 is grihasthasrama, and then from 50 to 75 is vanaprasthasrama. From 75 to whatever long they live is sannyasa. Mataji, that's
Yes, that's correct, Mataji. Thank you. So, okay, for those who might not understand, is that so the statuses are like, okay, once you have learned something, like remember that in this purport we were talking about that you do not become these divisions are not based on birth. For example, if like you cannot say that if someone is born of a Brahmana becomes a Brahmana. He has to be trained in that way. His character has to be in that way to fall into the category of a Brahmana. So as they say that, it's your nature that takes you to become um, a particular status. That is, could be Kshatriyas, Vaishyas. You could be born to a Brahmana, but you have this thing that, you want to protect people. You have that strength. So you become a soldier. Like people go out and become soldiers on the borders and stuff like that. And then again, the same thing, vice versa. But remember, in the Kali Yuga, we say that there's no one who's a pure Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Everyone is a Shudra. We are all born as Shudras. Because remember, we're all working for someone and someone. We don't have our own, our own thing. So we all become Shudras. Then when it comes to the ashramas, the way Mataji said that, from a certain age to a certain age, you are in brahmachari. Remember, the first ashram or your first order of human society is brahmachari. Brahmachari basically means that from a small age to like the age of 25, you will go to like the Gurukul or school and you will learn. You learn the Vedas, the scriptures with Guru and all that, okay? So basically you're assimilating knowledge at that point. Then you go ahead that once you've studied to like age of 25 or whatever it is, then you decide that now I am going to step into my household life where I will get married and I will do my services and my activities in that order. That I'm going to get married and then I'm going to have a wife. I'm going to have like a spiritual religious wife, and then we're going to have religious kids, and then I'm going to pass on my knowledge and everything to my children. And in that matter, that's how we work. Then from grihastha, then you reach at the age of 50. So grihastha means one who is in household, okay? And then Vanaprastha means that after at the age of 50, you decide that I am leaving my family, my comfort and everything, and I'm going to be going to the stage of Vanaprastha, where it means that literally means Vanaprastha means entering into the forest, where now you dedicate your life, your focus and everything onto the Supreme Lord. That you'll be doing meditation or services and everything to the Supreme Lord. And then lastly, we have the sannyasis, those who renunciate everything. They give up everything only to satisfy the Lord. So whatever they do the work for the Lord. Okay. So does anyone have any sort of a question regarding this divisions and all that? Please feel free. If you've not understood, I can try and explain again.
I think we are fine, Mataji. We can carry on.
Okay. So yes, so he asks that, and then remember, it's okay. Again, let's go to the same thing, that again, it doesn't matter who you're born from, what is your background, doesn't matter. What your nature will matter, your character will matter. And then everyone has to, there was a reason why this Varna ashram was created, so that everyone would follow step by step, and then eventually come to the platform of bhakti, and that whatever they're doing they can do and still concentrate on bhakti. So there's not a conflict between like each other. So with one ashram to another, or especially one varna to another, everyone does what they are meant to do, what they feel like doing. That is the way it is. Okay. So like we have an example, we are given a very good example. Vidur is famous in history as born of a Shudrani. Yes, Vidur was born of I think it was a maid. So I think that's what Shudrani means. He was born of a maid, but with his, you can see even with his questions, with his knowledge, you can realize that, okay, you know what, he is not talking like a Shudra, he's talking like a Brahman, someone so soft, someone who's thinking so deep and all that, and he's asking really deep questions as well. So yes, that is what it means. And then they say, unless one achieves at least the Brahminical qualification, one cannot understand it the way. So yes, we have to learn how to step slowly into the Brahmana, the Brahmana Varna, where we can understand, like the Mahabharata is made for women and all that. So I think Mahabharata, there's a lot of scriptures, there's a lot of shastras that we cannot understand in this day and age, and especially when they talked about Shudras and women. The way it was very hard for them to understand. But when Vedvyasji was compiling everything, there was Mahabharata for even women and Shudras to understand. So yes, anyone else has any other question or any sort of addition or something that I've missed?
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Oh, sorry. Yes. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, there's a statement Srila Prabhupada, Divine Grace, said that 50% of his work is done, and the other 50% he insinuated about he was to set up the Varnashrama Dharma in ISKCON. And would you kindly comment a little bit on where we are as a society in trying to set up this Varnashrama Dharma? And the sudras, when it says the sudras are almost everyone in Kali Yuga is a sudra.
Yes.
Yes. That would exclude pure devotees or sincere devotees, right? I was thinking all the pure devotees we have in this Kali Yuga are not sudras because of their inclination. Or maybe can clarify on that.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to hear, but I think there's some issue. I'm not able to hear you clearly. So, is it okay if you can repeat it again?
Hare Krishna. Was the aspect of everyone in this Kali Yuga is a Sudrani, or just want a clarification that maybe those souls that have taken into Krishna consciously, sincerely in this age and time,
Yes.
they're not in that bracket of Sudras in Kali Yuga. The scriptures are insinuating there are some people, some souls in this age still very much Brahmanical.
Okay. Yes, yes.
If
That's true. You
I can
see,
yes.
oh, sorry, did I cut you? I'm very sorry.
No. Please continue.
So yes, basically that is true. You see, everyone is born as a Shudra, but what makes us remember when you come into Krishna consciousness, remember you are learning a lot of things. You are stepping into become a Brahman. Remember, Vaishnavas are above Brahmanas. We're trying to be Vaishnavas, so you can imagine that the way we are learning, the way we are chanting, the way we are following scriptures, the way we are following gurus, we are stepping into that division of becoming Brahmanas. Yeah, like that even we have something like Brahman initiation. You have that initiation where you become a Brahman. So you can imagine that, yes, we don't fall, Krishna conscious people or devotees don't fall into the category of Shudras. They become Brahmins and they become Vaishnavas. Remember, we are aiming to become Vaishnavas. So yes, so your statement is correct as well. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else would like to add on anything or ask something?
I think Gayatri Mataji had a question.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
sorry.
Mataji,
Yes,
thank you. Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, when you said Mahabharat was for women, like I just wanted a little bit more clarification on that one, Mataji. Just
Mahabharata. When as I said, when Vedvyasji was compiling, remember that I am not too sure about this, unfortunately, but there was something like that they were saying that women were less intelligent. Now let's get the point that less intelligent doesn't mean that like people say when you say that women or Shudras or Dujamadus or whatever they're like less intelligent in the way that, for example, women, not that they're stupid. Let me use that word. Sorry if it may sound that way, but not that they're more of emotional. Remember, so that's why the word intelligent is used. It's not to discriminate or like use in that matter. Not in a negative tone. So women are very emotional. Remember, women are very emotional. So to in such a way that even when the way Mahabharata was written, it was for like okay. I don't know how to elaborate on that. Maybe what I can do is I can ask, or if someone can answer this question, then please feel free to answer that. Because that is my understanding that women are. It sounds very like what you said, downgrading. But when I heard and I asked, I got to know that it was not in that manner. It was not in that manner. We don't have that sort of intelligence. We're emotional. We think emotionally, so we're using more of a emotional like intelligence, not the what is that word? I'm not getting there. But so yes, please, someone can help me with that. Anyone who has any idea on this, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Lovely Mataji. Yeah, go ahead.
No, please go ahead. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mataji. That's all right.
I'm not sure, but I had heard that the Mahabharat it contains lots of stories, and it's a dharma shastra. So mostly in today's day and age, we have lots of Shudras. They do not know the Brahminical principles, nor do we have the patience to understand the depth of the verses. Sanskrit language itself is so um, deep with a variety of meanings for each word, and nobody has that time to study to understand, and therefore the Mahabharat gives you the knowledge about dharma in story form, like a way that is easier to understand, digest for the women, for the Shudras. And um, there was once one of my teachers had mentioned that today, even the men, they are not at that same level that the men were at that time. So we cannot differentiate the intelligence level of the women and the men based on the IQ in today's day and age. Just the emotional factor, like Hetvi Mataji previously mentioned. Panchali Mataji, if there's anything else you'd like to add, please do. I'm so sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And you're absolutely right in saying that, there were different roles. And again, I could be wrong, so do correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. But my understanding is that it all goes back to the Varnashram system as to why Krishna really wanted this to work, because biologically men and women are differently made. So based on their gender, men were assigned some duties and women were assigned some duties. Now the duties assigned by two women required them to be at home and take care of the family, because they were the ones who were giving birth to children, bringing them up. However, you would find in many a purport in Srimad Bhagavatam mentioning that women were less intelligent. Now, that is only to say because many a times the women were not exposed to the scholastic studying of the Vedas as the men were exposed to, or the men were required to study. And that is not because how clever they were was judged, but that is because the men were required to deal with external affairs, which required more understanding of the Vedas. Whereas the work that were primarily to be done by the women did not require that a lot as much as the men required in the worldly affairs, etc. However, saying so, there were many princesses, as the Shastras have given quite a few times, where the princesses, the daughters, were very, very good in warfare. They were their fathers ensured that they were equally, trained on military affairs. They were very clever because they were at home. A lot of the finance bit needed to be done by them. A lot of the financial budgeting needed to be done by them, because the men were out fighting, the men would be away from home. So all of that required intelligence. So when the Shastras or the purports mention less intelligent, it is not to say one is dumb and the other is clever, but it is rather to mention that, one might be more acquainted with the Vedic scriptures in comparison to the other gender. And that is the only thing. Otherwise, the entire Shastras has great, they have put women right on top. We can find out right from the fact that, Krishna himself bows down to Radharani. We can see even the gopis praying to Mother Katyayani, not even to Lord Shiva, but praying to Mother Katyayani, just so that they can have Krishna later on as their husband. And we see Krishna to put us through challenges. He takes the shelter of his external energy, Maya Devi, not a man, but a woman, because all the Shaktis, the energy, the real power of Krishna is in the woman form. So there's immense importance given to the women gender. And all through the examples in the Shastras, we've seen how women are glorified. So we mustn't take it that women are actually put down in any way. However, this concept was later misused, misrepresented, and when the Varnashram system corrupted a bit. Sorry, apologies. just a fit of cough. So when the Varnashram system got corrupted a bit later on, you know, as the ages went by, the reason why Lord Buddha had to come and start teaching Voidism. And you know, he said, you know, don't kill. The Brahmanas started killing animals for sense gratification rather than, you know, actual Vedic rituals. So when it started getting corrupted, that is where women gender was started to be put down by the people who could put them down, and the men, just to ensure that they have dominance over women, started quoting that they were less intelligent, and started even referring to the Shastras, saying, "Oh, look, you know, even they refer that women are not very intelligent." But there's a lot of it, and you know, it takes us into deep discussion around how the Varnashram system was really corrupted, and how that was used very subjectively by a certain class of people who wanted to establish their dominance over other classes, over other varnas and other ashrams. I'm sorry, I don't know if that clarified anything. Yeah. Apologies.
Thank you, Mataji. Sorry. Thank you, Mataji. That's a very good explanation. In fact, it's quite practical for us to understand. Like it's true that that is the way it was. That before, women, the way what they were doing, you know, changed a lot of things, and women, what they do now is very much different. And then, in short, whatever you've told us is very nice. I really liked your explanation. It was easy to understand. So yes, I hope that Gayatri Mataji, you've got your answer.
Yes, Mataji, yes, so beautifully explained by all of you, Panchalikar Mataji, Chandani Mataji, and Hetvi Mataji. Thank you so much. When yesterday itself we were discussing on Mahabharata, and I just told my daughter-in-law and son, we were just talking about Mahabharata. I just said, especially for women, it actually stirs up the emotions. That's what I told them. Like, you know, it's a turmoil when you are watching. So when you said Mahabharata was compiled for women, like, then I was like, oh, I wanted to know more in detail. And thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully explained. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for asking such a question. Even there are some things I didn't know, and then Panchali Mataji is like, gone ahead and explained, and I've learned something new, and I have a really good answer in case next time someone asks me. So yes, that is one thing that, you know, and it's true. You know, the thing is about women is that, remember, that's also our strength. We can easily like dive into like in devotional service, because remember, devotional service at the same time, you know, bhakti is about emotions, is about feelings. So it's easier for us to feel some, you know, certain things. It might take some time for men. I don't mean it in a negative way, but I'm sure someone can like highlight it, that is it hard sometimes when you came into devotional service, especially for men? Did you feel a bit of like, did it take time for you to feel certain emotions, you know, like ecstasy or tearing up or whatever it is? So yes, basically. And then when you talk about like women are also intelligent, our biggest example is, of course, we have Srimati Radharani, the Gopis. One of the others biggest example is Srimati Kunti Maharani. When you read her prayers, what she's praying to Krishna, what she talks about Krishna is like, wow. When I read those prayers, I was like, my God, that is very intelligent. The way she speaks to Krishna, and I'm really like, I was touched by those prayers. So yes, if you have the time, please go through the prayers. She speaks very nicely. It's also prayers that we can pick any of the verses, we can just pick, and we can every day we can recite it to, you know, in front of the deities or in front of the pictures, and just remember Krishna like that. So yes, that's correct. So thank you, everyone. Is there any other question or any other thing to add?
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes, excellent explanation by everybody. There's a question, what is the meaning of Dvija Bandhu?
Dvija Bandhu basically means, Dvija means twice, Bandhu means a friend of twice born. So twice born is like people who are initiated. Now Brahmanas, we can say, Brahmanas, friends of Brahmanas. So there are certain people who don't fall into the category of Brahmanas because they have done certain offenses, or they don't come into that level. So they become friends of the Brahmanas, but they are not Brahmanas. So that's what it means. Like, basically they don't qualify as Brahmanas. So is that clear, or give more explanation?
So the question was, so these are not Brahmanas, but they are friends of Brahmanas.
Yes. So basically, if you translate it, Dvija means twice bandhus, friends of twice born. Maybe Chani Mataji, you can give the answer to that.
While studying Bhagavatam, when we came across it, we learned that those who are born in the Brahmana community but do not have the qualifications to be called a Brahmana, they are called the Dvija Bandhus. They can not be called the Dvijas. They are just Dvija Bandhu because they have not attained the qualification to be called a Brahmana. They don't have the qualities.
Yes. So yeah, basically that is the description to it. Is that okay, Mataji?
I guess that is okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So basically, not Brahmanas, born but not Brahmanas really. Okay. Okay. So anything else, or we can move on to the next text?
I think we can move on to the next text. We don't have much time.
Okay. So someone different can read the Sanskrit, and then someone can read the translation. Can I fix someone?
I think that's a better idea, Mataji.
Okay, I can see someone. I'm sorry, Renuka Mataji. Could you please just speak the Sanskrit words?
Yeah, yeah, Mataji, I can. Are you staring on the screen? Yes, you are. Okay, let me see. I will try. I'm not very good at this, but okay. Hare Krishna.
That's okay. Please go ahead. Doesn't matter. It's okay. We're all here trying. Yes.
Yagnashaya Jai Vitanani Yog Yog Yogyashaya Jai Patha Prabhabho Prabhabho Nishkarmayasya Sankayashaya Tantram Bhagavata Bhagavad Smaratam. Okay.
Thank you. That's a very good try. No
Thank
problem.
you. Hare Krishna.
We can have. Does someone else want to give it a try as well? Just one, then we can move on. What about we have Prasanatma Das Prabhu? Prasanatma Prabhu. Would you like to give it a try?
Hare Krishna. Am I reading the Sanskrit?
Yes, please.
Okay. Jajnasya cha vitanani jagasya cha pata prabhu naiskarmyasya cha sankyasya tantram va bhagavat smritam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now someone can read the translation. There is someone, Urmila Ben. Would you please give it a try?
Maybe it might not be possible for Urmila.
Okay, fine, no problem. Istan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay,
Yes.
I can try the translation. Translated by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please also describe the expansions of different sacrifices and the paths of mystic powers, analytical study of knowledge, and devotional service with all with their respective regulations. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Then we can have Chani, maybe you can read the purport.
I can also read.
Okay, no problem. Yes.
Go ahead, Urmila Ben. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
The word tantram is significant herein. Sometimes tantram is misunderstood to be the black spiritual science of materialistic persons engaged in sense gratification. But here, tantram means the science of devotional service compiled by Srila Narada Muni. One can take advantage of such regulative explanations of the path of devotional service and make progressive advancement in the devotional service of the Lord. Sankhya philosophy is the basic principle of acquiring knowledge, as will be explained by the sage Maitri. The Sankhya philosophy, enunciated by Kapil Deva, the son of the Devahuti, is the real source of knowledge about the supreme truth. Knowledge not based on the Sankhya philosophy is mental speculation and can yield to tangible profit.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So now here there's another question that as we go on, we've realized if you read the previous verses, it's more about a lot of questions that are coming in. So now he's asking another question. He's like, now describe, different sacrifices, the path of mystic powers, the analytical study of knowledge and devotional service, and their regulation. So he's like, okay, what are the different type of sacrifices? Sacrifices are yagnas. So we know there is a lot of yagnas, like we have the fire yagna. There's different, so many types of yagna. There is one of them that we know is the fire yagna. So that is one. And then we have then we have yagna, so basically sacrifices. All right. Then he's asking about mystic powers, the path of mystic powers. That is like the yoga, like whatever sort of yoga that you do that can give you mystic powers. So we have example, we have the Ashtanga yoga, where people meditate and then they get a mystic power, like like flying in the air or becoming tiny and all those kind of things. And then we have analytical study of knowledge, and that is Sankhya Yoga. I'm sure if you've in the previous classes, in the previous verses, you've come across Sankhya Yoga. Yeah, we've heard about Kapil Dev, and then again in another verse, which I'm not sure of, that it talks about the 24 material elements and then all that makes the creation. And lastly, it's talking about devotional service, and that is bhakti. So now I would like someone to tell me what we're going to do is that I'm going to ask this question, that which out of four of these things, the different, what can you say, he's mentioned, which one is the best? All these are paths to attaining the Supreme Lord, isn't it? Like when you do yagnas, the austerities and everything, it's to attain the Supreme Lord. Mystic powers, again, people have their certain desires or everything, and they do yogas for years and years with whatever they're breathing or their posture and everything. And then we have the Sankhya Yoga as well. And then at last we have devotional service, bhakti. So which one out of them which is the best?
Bhakti.
Mataji. Bhakti.
Yes, bhakti is okay. Why is bhakti the best?
Because we are thinking of the Lord.
Okay, we're thinking of the Lord. Okay. Yes, anyone else? Why is bhakti the best?
Because it is the pure form of love to the Lord, without any expectations from the Lord, just to love God without unconditionally. Mataji.
Yes, that's correct as well. Okay, so before we move ahead into that, can someone tell me about any other sort of different sacrifices, like what are the types of sacrifice? What are the sacrifices are there?
You can have fire sacrifice.
Okay, then the very common one, yes, that's correct. Anyone else has any other names that we don't know of? Because even I myself only know the fire sacrifice. So if there's someone can add something else that is also this type of a sacrifice that goes on or that has been done before.
So chanting is also a sacrifice.
Okay, yagna. What sort of yagna is that? What name would you give to that yagna?
Japa yagya.
Yes, correct. That is yagna.
I've heard of this. It's when you sacrifice your material possessions. It's called dravya yagya. You are offering some material things. You are giving sacrifice of some material possessions. And yeah, so there's that. And then I think then there's the yagya for this age. And there's also sacrifice of time, then sacrifice in order to gain knowledge. I have read it, but I don't know the Sanskrit terms.
Okay. I think I've read it and I've heard about that. I don't know the names either, but yes, thank you, Mataji. Okay, anyone else can go ahead to give me any other mystic powers, the path of mystic powers. Any other yoga
In
that someone knows?
sacrifice, there is also animal sacrifice.
Oh yes,
Sorry,
yes.
let's go to mystic powers.
Okay, no problem, Mataji. Thank you. Yes.
Can you hear me? Because I'm not at home. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
The yagna for chanting, that's Sankirtan yagna. Now I have a question. If you allow me, Mataji, I have a question for everybody. If that's okay.
Yes, it's no problem.
So, because the question is on sacrifices, my question is, how is one of Arjun's name related to a sacrifice? So Arjun has been called by various names in the Bhagavad Gita, so has Krishna. One of the names that Krishna frequently calls Arjun by is directly related to a sacrifice. Does anyone know the name, and why was that name given to Arjun? Sorry, this can be right at the end because it is a question which is a bit of a digression, so we can keep this right till the end. But I just wanted to mention because you were talking about sacrifices. Hare Krishna.
Yes, that's okay, Mataji.
Is it Partha, Mataji? Partha?
Partha is because he was the son of Pritha. Pritha is Mother Kunti. But it's, yeah, thank you so much for trying, Mataji. There's another name as well. Thank you, Mataji.
If anyone wants a... Sorry, Mat. Sorry, Urmila Mataji, you can say it again.
Udakesh.
Gurakesh is, thank you so much, Mataji. Gurakesh means someone who's overcome sleep because Arjuna conquered sleep. And sleep in this sense means ignorance. So Arjuna was called Gurakesh because he had conquered ignorance. But again, not directly related to sacrifice. Sorry, Mataji. Sorry, Hetvi Mataji, you go ahead. I can come back to it later on.
Even I'm trying to remember what the name is. So yes, okay, that's fine.
Hare
So we can go ahead. Okay.
Dhananjaya, but Dhananjaya means sacrifice of wealth or something like that. But maybe it's not the right answer.
It is the perfect answer, Mataji. It is Dhananjaya, because after the war, the Pandavas, by the advice of Krishna, they did a sacrifice, Ashwamedha sacrifice, And Yudhishthir Maharaj asked Arjuna to go to all the different parts of the world and collect wealth from the different countries to be able to, support the sacrifice, the grand sacrifice that he was doing. And so Dhananjaya, someone who's conquered wealth, Dhan means wealth. So yeah, perfect. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the quiz, Mataji. It also made me think a lot that do I know this or not? But thank you. Then I remembered that yes, this is something that I've learned before. So yes, we can move ahead. The reason why I'm asking is that if anyone knows the different type of mystic powers or the analytical knowledge or devotional, all of those three first, is just to understand that, okay, what do we really understand that what it means? So basically, all of this is meant for us to realize the Supreme Lord, isn't it? Whether it's sacrifices, like when we talk about fire sacrifices, we talk about like the way Chandi Mataji said, they're talking about, like all your possession, your material possessions, you sacrifice that. Then we're talking about a lot of like knowledge here and there. Then when we talk about even like Ashtanga yoga, remember yoga, previous ages, they sages or rishis would sit and like they would meditate for years and years in a particular posture, in a particular way. And even the Bhagavad Gita writes that how you should actually meditate. So it was there, it was taking place. Or even if it was for rishis and sages to like attain mystic powers, like, as I said, that there are like 8 type of siddhis or mystic powers that one can gain by doing those sort of yogas. Okay. Then we have the analytical study of knowledge. And that is like we've talked about previously about the elements and the creation and everything. And, understanding the knowledge or in a analyzing manner with, like facts and figures and things like that. So basically discriminating bit in a study where you can discriminate spirit and matter. Okay. So like with Kapil Dev, the son of Devahuti, says that, that he meant to say that who we really are by teaching us the Sankhya Yoga, that we are not matter, we are spirit. Okay. That is the other thing. And then we have devotional service, where everyone described that is a loving exchange, or service is done to the Lord without any sort of conditions, unconditionally. Okay. So now us as devotees, we know about a lot of yogas. We know about even like now karma yoga, jnana yoga, everything. But we have picked bhakti yoga. Correct or not correct?
Correct, Mataji.
Yes. So and is there anyone who has gone through any of these other things before they stepped into the bhakti yoga path? Has anyone been through anything else and then they've come to Krishna consciousness?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Maybe
Does Christianity?
sacrifice. Sorry,
Hare
go
Krishna.
ahead, Denny.
I was asking whether Christianity would cut something other than bhakti before Krishna consciousness.
Christianity is so basically, like you can say, you are in a different religion before you came into the Sanatan Dharma or the Krishna consciousness. Christianity would actually fall. I'm not sure, because it's very hard to categorize, because if you're doing it for the Lord, like remember, they're out there, there's quite quite many Christians that that follow the regulations, and whatever they do it for God, the name of God. So yeah, whatever, as we say, that whatever it does not put conditions is devotional service. So I'm not sure of that. I have to like connect it to the religion. But okay, you're basically saying that you're from a different religion, then you came into this religion, correct? Okay, that's okay.
Mataji,
Okay, so
if I can answer that question.
yes,
Sure,
please.
I think even if you are a Christian, you have made some sacrifice of time. You have gone to the Sunday school or Sunday sermons. So they have given their time, they have given their attention, they've made that sacrifice. They've even given some Lakshmi, they have the Sadaka in Christianity. When they go to church, they give some % of their income there. So they have given the time and money and attention sacrifice before they came to Krishna consciousness. Am I making sense, Dennis Prabhu? Have you been able to do that before you came into Krishna consciousness?
That sometimes the motive was mostly to acquire something like wealth or pass your grades, not to really acquire love for God, Christianity. So maybe it could not really fall so much into bhakti, but more into materialism.
But what I know about Christians, they give money to build a church, or they adopt a relative's child and pay the school fees, or they give them a place to stay in the house, or they look after a relative's child, or take them to university. So a lot of sacrifice like that is done. But anyway, I think we can discuss that some other day. Just carry on, Hetvi Mataji.
Thank you for the explanation. Even that is something like I have to think about as well, or ask as well. So it's basically, remember, we've heard that Srila Prabhupada says that he's whatever you do, if you do it for the Lord, yeah, whatever religion you are in, as long as you're learning how to love God, that's a true religion. Remember, he doesn't go ahead and say that, okay, this is wrong, that is wrong. He encourages everyone that whatever you're doing, continue doing, but make sure that you learn how to love God, get closer to him, understand him, and all those kind of things. So that is okay. So it's basic, and of course it's there, it's everywhere that people go to God. It doesn't matter what religion you are for a particular thing, especially material. So that's okay. Then how you slowly, like how you start understanding that, okay, you know what, instead of asking these kind of things which are not helping me, and at the end of the day, you might be disappointed, or you just don't get it, and then you just get into that cycle of disappointments and asking and frustration and all those things, where even the Gita talks about. So then you start realizing that, what, now I need to do something for God, and once you start doing that, then you are becoming like a perfect human being. So is that okay? Are we reaching somewhere with this? Okay, we can carry on. So now as devotees, we know about the Bhakti Yoga, but now why do we need to know about the other sacrifices and other ways to, or the other paths that we can attain the Lord? Yeah, like what's the purpose of Vidur asking about it? Like he could straight ask about, okay, tell me more about Bhakti. Why is he going ahead and asking about sacrifices and mystic powers and everything like that? What is the purpose?
Vidur was a very elevated devotee. He knew all the answers, but I guess he was asking for us, or people who would be reading the Srimad Bhagavatam later on. So he was doing it for us.
Yes, that's a very good answer. Yes, that's correct as well. Any other answers? Anyone else can give it a try? Any other different answer? Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhuji, your voice is cutting. I really can't hear you.
So you could see that in this knowledge. So he had to ask the questions, just like Mataji has said, for the sake of us.
Okay. Okay. Any other answer? Anyone else? Can I pick someone? Renuka Mataji, what is the other reason that he's asking about everything else and devotional service?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm not sure. I mean, is like Kritika Mata said, like he's asking for on behalf of us. I think for everyone. That was my understanding.
Okay, that's okay. I think that's one of it's true that they've most every time the devotee has asked, it's not like they didn't know. They asked for us that these are the kind of questions that will come. So why not ask it for you so you get the answer. Like even we have the Bhagavad Gita is a classic example of that. That there's certain questions that Arjuna asked and they're like it really applies to our lives. So another reason why that is asked is because you remember that we are lucky enough to come to on the path of bhakti yoga, so we know how the importance and this how genuine and how powerful bhakti is, so we don't really question other things. But the reason why it was also asked is because people are going to come and ask, like, okay, there's this and there's this and this, so why is bhakti stronger than that? Why should I pick bhakti? So we need to know, even as devotees, we need to know that what these sacrifices mean, what sort of mystic powers, like the yogas there are, what sort of the Sankhya is, what does it mean, what does it hold? So when tomorrow someone comes and asks you, because people will come and ask you, yeah, that why have you picked, like, why are you doing this kind of things? Why are you in Krishna consciousness? Why are you chanting like this? And then you need to have an answer. You can't just go like, okay, I was told, or okay, you know what, I like it. No, you have to go ahead and give proper answer that, okay, you know what, this is the way we're prescribed. This is what is happening. So, etc. like that. So at the same time, we need to know what it means and how, what, compared to bhakti, what they are. And the other reason why he talks about this is that even as we learn about these different paths, we can realize what is really meant for us and what is easier. Yeah, it's like going through all of them and then realizing, okay, you know what, okay, this is correct, but it's too long. Or this is correct, but it requires this and this. Or this is correct, but or this, that. And then when you step into bhakti and you realize, okay, you know what, this one makes more sense. It's very much like, as I said, practical. It's very much easier. It's very much, it calls to me like that. And again, as we go ahead, we are told that in Kali Yuga, there is no other, there is nothing else except taking on the path of bhakti, taking path of bhakti yoga. Yeah, we cannot do other things, like we cannot do those Ashtanga yoga and everything. It requires years and years. And you need to be of, like that, you need to be of that age, you need to have that much of an age that like years to live to do that. And then sacrifices in this day and age, we don't have pure ingredients or pure pujaris, or that kind of a time as well sometimes, that we can do those proper sacrifices and all that. And then Sankhya yoga is not everyone can understand that. Remember, if you've done it before, you know how hard it is to like remember a lot of things, and you're like, okay, as long as I understood the main basic thing, that's enough. So yes, so bhakti is actually very easy. And every now and then we come across that, what, do bhakti, do bhakti. And then bhakti basically means what? What does bhakti consist of? Can anyone answer what bhakti consists of?
Bhakti consists of chanting, association with devotees, reading the scriptures, and deity worship.
Yes, it's as simple as that. That is what bhakti is all about. It's about harinam, it's about chanting, it's about associating with devotees. So who is that not easier? Do we have that time or that thing that, okay, now let's all gather, you gather all sorts of ingredients and then you go looking for them, and then like, okay, then it's not going to happen, it's not possible. But when you're told that, oh, you know what, you get to sit with your friends or other people and do the same things that you are doing, you're chanting together. Then we have even something, the most, I think, the part of bhakti that people like is the part of the bhakti, the activities people like is prasadam. Imagine sitting with your family, friends, and having prasadam, severing prasadam, ordering prasadam together. What is that? That's so easy. That's so nice. So when you've gone through all that, we're like, no, okay, you know what? That's too hard. That's too much. I think bhakti is for me. And bhakti is all the same time as we talked that it's about emotions, about feelings. Remember, we cannot be like stones and continue doing something. It's not going to benefit us. And at the same time, we will never be able to realize the Lord. Because remember, the Lord has feelings as well. And there's a reciprocation only in that way. When you take Harinam, then there's a point where you feel like, oh wow, I'm feeling something in my heart. I'm getting teary. I'm getting ecstatic. I like dancing. It's there. So it's all about we're emotional. Remember, we're living entities, we have emotions, we have feelings, we have that love. And that love is meant for the Lord. And that can only be achieved when we step into bhakti. When we follow the simplest of things, just like chanting and all that, the way Mataji said. And of course, you go ahead, and then in bhakti, we have rules and regulations. What sort of rules are there that, okay, you want to step into bhakti? What do you require to do that makes you progress, move ahead? And that is, for example, what Srila Prabhupada gave us was the 4 principles to follow. And then about waking up on time, chanting time, and then, having a routine, attending the temple program, and all those kind of things. So yes, basically, so we mainly learn about bhakti in this more than the other things. So yes, does anyone have any other question? Does anyone need to add anything else?
Mataji, if there are no questions, we've exhausted our time. We have overrun by 7 minutes.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that we've been having such a nice conversation, such a nice class. So yes, but okay, if there is any other question, maybe you can go ahead and ask maybe next week or something like that. I'm so sorry. I've taken a lot of your time. I'm sure there's a lot of things that you have to attend to. And so please forgive me for stretching the class.
I think, Mataji, we were a little bit not good to you because we asked you to do 2 verses. So it's not your fault. You gave a class, fantastic discussion we've had, and we learned a lot. And I think this is a good class because when we discuss, we learn more. And it's not just listening, because now we were exercising our mental power as well. So thank you for doing this class in this manner, and we really appreciate it. With that,
from me as well, because I think I took up a lot of your time. With sincere apologies for that as well.
No,
thank
Mataji,
you very
please do
much.
not.
All the contributions, yeah, your contribution was excellent, Mataji. Okay, with that comment, I'll request Eastern Prabhu, are you able to end the session for today? Hare Krishna, and thank Mataji for this wonderful session.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the interactive session that we just had today. It was so nice relishing the nectar from every devotee who was present today, and also yourself. Thank you so much for that. I will humbly request each and every one of us to unmute and chant one round of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the glorification of Her Grace Bhaktin Hetvi Mataji for the wonderful class.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Her Grace Bhaktin Hetvi Mataji ki.
All glories
Glories
to all the devotees here present. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. And the most important was that you involved everybody. So everybody who was silent in classes even contributed. So thank you so much. We look
Thank
forward
you.
to
I try.
having you
Thank
again.
you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.